Welcome to JGTCR, I'm Cope, and today we are tuning the Alfa Romeo 4C Gr.3. Let's get into it. In factory trim, this 4C is a very solid race car. It is also the best version of the 4C available on GT7. It handles very well and has great turn-in and drive-through turn capabilities. And this time there's plenty of downforce to keep us stuck to the road. The Gr.3 4C has a decent amount of power, and that power is delivered nice and smooth in the mid to top rev range. However, in the lower RPM, power delivery can be a touch too aggressive, causing oversteer. This is more noticeable in the sharper and slower turns on exit. But this is not something that breaks the car, it actually makes it more fun. With its wide and low stance and aforementioned downforce, it is no surprise that braking is exceptional. However, if we do get too confident with our braking, we can expect to experience some understeer. This vehicle is so fun to drive, I accidentally did an extra lap. Let's collect our time. 6 minutes 37.6 seconds. On to the race tune. In all honesty, the Gr.3 4C handled very well even with default settings. It can be driven well and fast with those default settings. The changes made here are more for personal preference and driving style. And now back out onto the ring to see how it performs. More power, more solid suspension, and more downforce. Always a good combination when improving the characteristics of any vehicle. And the Gr.3 4C is no exception. Stability through turns has improved, as has the turn-in. Steering has become sharper and more precise in feeling. The increase in power has made the 4C more lively. However, it has also made the rear end more likely to break loose. This loss of traction is snappy and very difficult to control. It is best advised to not try and power through the drift, but instead ease off and let the vehicle collect itself, and then feed the throttle back in slowly. Under heavy braking, we no longer face understeer issues. Instead, we find ourselves with some slight drift oversteer action. However, this is not a bug, it is a feature. If we are smooth on inputs, both accelerator and brake, the vehicle is quite stable. If we are more aggressive on the inputs, it gets squirrely, in a fun way. And now to the finish line to collect our time. 6 minutes 15.7 seconds. Let's go drifting. This drift tune on the Gr.3 4C uses a medium turbo for a more responsive setup. We have maxed out the rear downforce to give us more directional drift. We have also used 50 points of ballast up front to slow our drift down and give us a greater pendulum effect. The rear suspension was softened to make the drift less snappy. And of course, our differential is completely locked with all settings maxed at 60 points. Off to Suzuka we go. The Gr.3 4C is quite a decent drift car. With the extra weight up front, drift is more stable. Even on the main straight, transitions are smooth and controllable. There is enough grip during drift to position the car nicely on circuit, but not too much that we mess with the fluidity of the drift. The directional drift is magnificent, as we can dial in almost any angle we like and still maintain forward momentum. The medium turbo is spot on for the drift build, as it provides the perfect balance between power and response. As it stands, any gear is ready to spring to life the moment any pressure is applied to the throttle, and within each gear is an ocean of throttle play just waiting to be explored. Low, high or medium RPM, the Gr.3 4C has you covered. And in fact, the most fun part of this build is the throttle play. The suspension holds the drift well and does not punish us for making harsh or last-minute adjustments. And when it comes to the full lock angle, the build is not shy about showing us all what it can do. So no matter how we dice it, the 4C is a smooth, controllable, fun drift car. The Alfa Romeo 4C Gr.3 is a great vehicle. It is well balanced in braking and suspension, but also has enough power to keep things spicy. When modified, we end up with more of a good thing, and when tuned to our needs, becomes a strong all-rounder, ready to take on anything we may throw at it. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing.